What's up, subscribers? Hit that like button and subscribe because we've got critical details from the government's preparation efforts for Tropical Storm Melissa. A cleaning exercise is currently underway in a section of the Sandy Gully near Riverton City and Weymouth Drive, St. Andrew. At the press conference this morning, Minister of Works Robert Morgan confirmed that while the government is still awaiting budget funds for major drainage work, efforts are focused on the gully beneath the Spanish Town Road Bridge to reduce the threat of flooding. Morgan assured the nation that although they may not be perfect or 100% effective, their mitigation work will be very effective in mitigating the flooding that could occur during a significant rain event.
We visited Bamberger Gully along with ODPEM and other representatives of other agencies, and we are now using sandbags to assist where there may be the chance of flooding. The challenge, however, and it's a challenge we're facing more and more, persons who live on gully banks continue to be vulnerable whenever we have a potential rain event. And it is something that the government has been looking at and we're taking very seriously, as not only is there a risk to property, but there's also a significant risk to life and also a risk to persons who may seek to assist these persons if a disaster takes place, meaning our first responders like the fire brigade and other emergency services. So it's not just the persons who live on these gully banks who are at risk, but also persons who are obligated to assist them in case of a disaster. The government is in the early stages of planning a solution for this problem, and the Prime Minister will announce that plan.
Speaking at a special press briefing this morning, October 22nd, Principal Director of the Met Service, Evan Thompson, announced that Tropical Storm Melissa is now expected to become a hurricane by this Friday. More critically, Thompson confirmed that the impact on Jamaica is now imminent, with the country likely to start feeling the effects of the system as early as tomorrow, Thursday.
We have this system, which is Tropical Storm Melissa, that developed yesterday over the waters of the Caribbean, over the central Caribbean Sea. It is, however, expected to become a hurricane, and this is likely to occur sometime by Friday as we go into the weekend. Now, the system will begin most likely to impact Jamaica as early as Thursday, which is tomorrow. We should be getting rainfall from the system at that time. We continue to have the country under a tropical storm watch. That is what is there now. It's not a warning, but a watch. And that means that tropical storm conditions are possible within 48 hours. So as the system continues to move closer to us, we do expect that gradually we will start to see the increase in rainfall occurring on Thursday. Late on Thursday, there is the possibility of sections of the country, primarily the area closest to the center of the system, starting to be impacted by some tropical storm conditions. That is what is expected at this time.
Stepping up on behalf of the JLP government, the Minister for Water, Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Samuda, also addressed the nation today, reinforcing the call for national vigilance and ensuring the country's emergency protocols are fully activated as we track Tropical Storm Melissa.
I want to assure citizens listening and members here that the Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change, through the Met Service, is coordinating very closely with the National Response Team and Mr. Mackenzie's team, and of course feeding through the National Disaster Risk Management Council through the Prime Minister. This will require an all-of-government response, but we want to assure citizens that they will get timely updates from the Met Service. They will benefit from our bolstered capacity. We're now using our own Doppler radar, whereas before we had to depend almost solely on external sources, on external support. And we are very clear that we have had to mobilize our other agencies to ensure that they provide particular support through their early warning systems. So NEPA is on guard. Indeed, the Water Resources Authority that monitor your riverbeds are on guard to ensure that they feed information through the appropriate mechanisms. As I come to a close, I want to alert you to one other step that we have taken. We have, through the National Water Commission, engaged all of our emergency protocols. We're already monitoring our situations related to our hospitals and our infirmaries to make sure that they are served right throughout any storm, if it does indeed hit us, and certainly in the immediate aftermath. So the ministry is fully engaged. We're fully prepared to provide information to the society and to provide and to play our role in the response to this storm. Thank you, Minister. One of the issues that came up as a major shortfall in our response post-Hurricane Beryl was how quickly we were able to get water systems up, especially ones that serve hospitals, infirmaries, and places of detention. That prompted a particular analysis that the Prime Minister had instructed to be done. So we've already identified all the water pumps that indeed service critical infrastructure, because electricity is indeed a critical element of our ability to distribute water. These pumps have been identified. We've already installed 3 major generators that service particular hospitals, and we're going through the PIAB process with the Ministry of Finance to procure the rest. We expect to invest just over $1 billion in generators early next year. But during the Beryl response, we also identified private sector suppliers who have triple phase generators, as opposed to the single phase that you'd use on homes and the double phase that you may have at some commercial operations. See, it's important for the public to understand water pumps use a lot of energy, so it requires triple phase. But we have identified private suppliers that do have triple phase, so we're able to, between working with JPS and our private suppliers, deal with most critical infrastructure should that go down. And as we are building resilience, as the Prime Minister had instructed, we're also putting in renewable sources and power storage at many of our locations. So maybe in about July, our Forest Hill system, which is at the foot of Red Hills, would have commissioned its own solar and energy storage facility. So for instance, the Red Hill system would be able to run once the storm is over. So that's one of the things that we identified. We've also beefed up and increased our trucking capacity. So post-Beryl, we have 12 more additional trucks that is able to go into areas that have particular impact. But we do need to caution that when a storm is coming, and certainly as you get the notifications this evening and tomorrow morning, where you can store potable water at your homes, we will encourage that, because there will be some disruption if a storm does indeed make landfall. And even if you have the sort of rain event that is being projected, because of the nature of our groundwater systems, you can have turbidity. And with turbidity, energy issues, those tend to be the 2 major reasons for disruptions. But we've analyzed our entire network, and we're prepared to respond in a better way than we would have post-Beryl. We've also been coordinating very closely with Minister Vaz and JPS. So JPS is very clear on our critical pumps. So there have been a lot of effort to maintain the lines that go into our critical pumps. And I've physically seen a lot of the work being done. So we believe we're in a better place, but obviously not in a place that we tell people not to store water. We encourage you to store water and to follow ODPEM's directives in terms of how you store it, how you put it up, how you keep it clean, and of course, post a storm, we'll encourage persons to boil their water.
Minister SSA Desmond McKenzie is urging citizens to use the emergency shelters if they are activated. The minister strongly advises residents planning to relocate to a shelter to bring only essential items, such as critical medications and necessities.
I want to say that our shelters, the 800 and odd shelters, have been inspected. Our shelter supervisors, managers, and volunteers are on standby. We have pre-positioned relief supplies in various sections of the island. We are also putting emergency equipments and teams in areas that we know are challenging areas. We do have a list of the areas that we need to pay attention to. There are some particular communities in Jamaica that we are concerned about. Those communities know themselves, but I just want to mention a few. Rocky Point in Clarendon is one area. Taylorland in the eastern part of the island is another. We have the Duane Park area, New Haven, and several other communities. The Burger Gully, the McGregor Gully are 2 areas of concern.